Hello and welcome to Food Fusion. I'm Charles Matheson. In this podcast, I bring you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all about food, drink, travel, lifestyle, all that good stuff. Today we're doing Zhoug spice and everything nice. We're going to be exploring bold flavors in food and drink. Now, I've always been a person that loves spicy food. And maybe it has something to do with my background. My family is West Indian. However, many West Indian people don't like spice. But anyway, I found Zhoug, spelled Zhoug, and it's from Yemen. And it's made with cilantro, chili peppers, garlic, and olive oil. It's delicious, lasts about 3 weeks in the fridge. And I've been incorporating it especially into my breakfast. One dish in particular I make is I get a flour tortilla and then I char it. The way I char it is I get the flour tortilla, I turn on the stove, and then I put I put the flour tortilla on the stove. Then I turn on the fire. I think in that order. And then when it starts to get smoky and it has a char on the outside, then I flip it over and I char the other side. Then I put on top of that some scrambled eggs. Then on top of that, I'll put on some vegetables, usually some scallion, sometimes some radishes, and then I'll put on the zhoug. And you can put whatever vegetables you want if you decide to make this. And it's so good. And it's really great also if you're going to do like a crudité. So a crudité is just a bunch of vegetables, either raw or roasted, and then you have a dip with that. It also goes really well with pita chips, with chickpeas, just like, get your cooked chickpeas, put the zhoug on it. Goes great with avocado, with grain bowls, and more. It's really great. They sell it at Trader Joe's. I haven't made it on my own yet. That is on my list of things to do. I just find it a whole lot easier just to buy it pre-made. And in the same vein of spicy breakfasts, I continue to eat spicy breakfast. And a little bit more so now than usual. It started, I'd say, maybe 3 years ago when there's a Colombian bakery by my job. And I would get these beef empanadas. And they come with a spicy sauce. And now recently in this spicy breakfast vein, I've been making rice cakes with toppings spicy. Let me give you an example. So one thing I eat is I get cheddar covered rice cakes and I put some cottage cheese on that. And then I get a Mexican hot sauce. And just like the crunch of the rice cakes pairs perfectly with the smooth texture of the cottage cheese. And then the hot sauce just has this fiery kick. Oh my God. And then the cheddar on the rice cake just enhances the richness of the dish. And it just creates this balance between creamy, crunchy, and spicy. I use El Yucateco sauce, usually the green one mostly. This rice cake combination also works really well with avocado if you want to try it out. And if you are not a spice person, do not do it because it is so hot that my head sweats whenever I have it. But it's like I don't care. It's that good. So spicy breakfasts are really a thing. At least for me, it is. I know there are tons of others that are out there, but if you want one that's really accessible, I think the rice cake, and then you get like your protein, whether it's going to be your cottage cheese or it's going to be your avocado, or if you're going to do mushrooms, what have you. That combination with the rice cake, I think, works really good. This past Thanksgiving, I was introduced to pepper soup. And pepper soup is Nigerian. And I had it at my sister's house this past Thanksgiving, and it was made with goat. It's very flavorful, spicy, delicious, and it has flavors I've never had before. And one thing I really liked about the soup is that it's gamey. Like goat does not taste like beef. It has a very different taste. And some of the ingredients that are used in pepper soups in general are uda seeds, calabash, nutmeg, and ginger. So uda seeds have like a smoky, slightly bitter flavor with hints of pepper, nutmeg, and like a earthy aroma. And they impart a warmy, woody taste to dishes. It's often described as a cross between black pepper and mild cloves. Then the calabash nutmeg has a nutty, warm, slightly sweet flavor, and it has hints of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. The sweetness is more subdued compared to traditional nutmeg. The broth was amazing. And in my research, I learned that this dish is considered a comfort food in Nigeria. So, spicy Thanksgiving. Now, let's go to drinks. I have been drinking ginger and ginger beer, to be clear. And it started with my starting to drink Moscow mules. And a Moscow mule is whiskey, ginger beer, and a slice of lime. And the thing with a Moscow mule is that, or with any drink with ginger beer, it has to be like a craft ginger beer. Like when you have real ginger beer, like a good brand, like Fevertree, when you drink it, you are gonna just like be totally go. You're gonna get that effervescence of ginger, and it's very refreshing. It's very spicy, and you can't compare it to ginger ale. Like ginger ale, I believe, doesn't even have any ginger. It's a ginger flavoring. So if you're looking to get that strong ginger taste, you have to get ginger beer. It's just you can drink ginger beer on its own, like a mocktail. It's that strong. It can hold its own. I can't tell you how many nights I have just come home from work and doing my nightly cocktail, and I just do a straight up ginger beer. When I make a Moscow Mule, I typically make it with bourbon. And bourbon is another type of whiskey. It's just bourbon is made with corn, I believe. And like the ginger, and then when you have the bourbon, it like you get to taste like the caramel and the vanilla from the bourbon, and then you get that zesty spice of the ginger. It's really, really great. So, if you're interested in making your own craft drinks, cocktails, a good place to start is to get a book on making craft cocktails. And the book that I use is called The Craft of the Cocktail. And for me, it's the Bible of making craft drinks. It's written by Del de Groff, and he's widely credited with revitalizing the art of the cocktail during the late 20th century. And he's considered a pioneer of the cocktail renaissance that we see now. One drink from his book that I really like is called Napoleon's Complex. And it's made with, get this, amaretto, absinthe, lemon juice, and Mr. de Groff himself made his own pimento aromatic bitters. The absinthe is the star of this drink. When you drink it, the smell of the absinthe immediately encapsulates you. Like absinthe, I believe it's made from I think part of it's made from fennel, or at least it smells like fennel. I forget, but that smell of the absinthe, just like as soon as you drink it, you're gonna smell the absinthe before you drink it, and then in the mouth, the taste of the absinthe, like you get that first, and then you get the taste of the amaretto, and then the lime juice. It's a complex drink in that it has more than one flavor profile. So get this book. I'll put a link to it in the description of this, and start your craft journey. And that's it for Food Fusion today. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes. If you have a suggestion or topic that you would like for me to discuss, please let me know. Take care.